So are we on?
We're on.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mystic Conversations with Kiam. I'm Kim,
And I'm Sam.
and together we're
Kiam.
Kiam. So today's topic is going to be manifestation, law of attraction. But before we which is a great topic and really kind of touches on so many areas of people's lives. But before we get into that, we're going to just do a little housekeeping. First off, thanks to everybody who came out to Wham Bam Fest and visited the Mystic Avenue Healing Tent. For people who got free readings as well as some Reiki treatments and a coupon for a free gift. So it was nice to see everybody out for that. I want to talk a little bit about our calendar. We're in the process of finalizing the fall calendar, and we have a lot of things coming out. So I want to keep people, kind of anticipating a few things. The summer calendar is a little bit of a challenge because people are away all the time. So this is where we are launching a lot of things for the first time. So Sam, do you want to talk about the yoga stuff first? Why don't you tell us how the yoga studio is going?
Yoga studio is going really well, actually. On Mondays, we have a hatha yoga class and then a restorative nidra class. On Tuesdays, we have mat Pilates and a hatha class. And on Wednesdays, we have a free yoga and play class for parents and their babies aged 0 to 3.
And that's usually full, right?
Yeah, that's usually full.
So if you want to come, you need to sign up early for that, right?
Yeah, sign up early. And if you're not able to make your spot, if you can cancel so other people can book. And after that, there is on Wednesdays a gentle class for seniors at 11 a.m. And then on Thursdays, we have a prenatal gentle class for all women. That's at 6 p.m. And on Saturday morning, we have a Get Up and Flow class at 9 a.m.
And there will be a fall schedule for yoga as well. So the schedule will be changing a little bit. There will be some additions and some deletions as well, right? Things that, things are moving around, mostly additions. Yeah. So that's great. So if you have any questions about yoga, feel free to reach out. And stop by and say hi. Okay, so workshops. We have this Saturday, we have Reverend Alba Folkson as our guest reader. I believe we have one 30-minute spot and one 60-minute spot left. So if you're interested in getting a reading with Reverend Folks, feel free to reach out. You can through Instagram, through Facebook, you can email us, or you can call. Any of those are acceptable. And she is a very experienced reader. I remember when I was involved in another metaphysical store many years ago, Reverend Folks in the area as well. So she's been around for a while. Kind of like us older people. That's me trying to say she's not an older person. She's just been around for a while. And she is an amazing, talented reader, medium. She actually had her own TV show for a while called the Alba Folk Show, or Ask Alba. I forget what it was. It was on Rogers in Durham region. So it was pretty cool as well. So feel free to book a reading with her. The week after that, we have Carla Novakovic. Now, Carla is interesting. A lot of people are familiar with tea leaf reading. She does coffee grounds reading. So it's the same premise, different beverage, and a really interesting, intuitive process. So you can book readings with her as well for the 24th. Some of the ongoing events that we'll have in the fall, Spellcasters Club. So this is where you can join and you pay a monthly fee. And I think the monthly fee is somewhere around $15. That hasn't been finalized yet. But you can come and you meet once a month at the yoga studio. And there are a number of supplies that come with your registration, and you learn how to do spell casting, and you get to meet with other people who share a similar interest, which is really great. And that will be a once a month thing. We have a Reiki circle that will be happening. And this is for people who are Reiki practitioners. So it's important for people who are Reiki practitioners to have an opportunity to practice and meet with like-minded people as well. So that'll be a once a month thing. We're going to be starting a new meditation group as well, and a women's spirituality group that is running on Sunday mornings. And I believe it is 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings, or 10 to 11:30. I'm not sure which one. Again, that's just being finalized. This is a no charge group, but you do have to fill out an application and be accepted into the group. So it's for people who are interested in exploring different topics related to spirituality. It's a women's group in particular, and there's a commitment expected. So although it's a free group, that doesn't mean that it's just a drop-in group. There is a commitment required, hence the application. If you're interested, reach out. And we have workshops on crystal bowl healing, shamanic, basic shamanism, wine and wisdom. High tea tarot event is something that's going to be coming. You'll probably like the high tea tarot, right?
Yeah, I would love everything.
That's true.
But I have a baby.
Yeah. So, well, Samantha's just back from maternity leave.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of back. Yeah. Yeah.
Kinda never left.
Right. And so those are just some of the workshops. We have a lot of other things that are being kind of inserted. So stay tuned for that. Did you want to talk about some of these workshops, or do you want me to talk about those?
You go ahead, Kim.
Okay. Golly whiz, there's so much. Okay. We have a yoga teacher training. This starts on September 21st, and it runs one weekend a month right through till April. On the weekend that it is taking place each month, the Thursday before is also part of the process. So this is the 200-hour yoga teacher training for people who want to become certified as yoga instructors. So you can feel free to reach out about that. Penny McQueen is our extremely talented, amazing yoga instructor for this program, as well as for many of the programs at the yoga studio, which brings me to a few of her workshops that she has coming up in September and October. Self-massage, cacao ceremony. This one sounds really interesting. Is a restorative yoga, reflexology, and Reiki workshop. All of that combined. That's a lot of stuff. Is that 3 R's? Restorative, reflexology, and Reiki. Yeah. So that sounds really cool. And again, feel free to reach out. And we have a free yoga class for seniors, do we not? When is that? Is that the 21st of August?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. So
whatever number that is.
For seniors who are thinking, I don't know if I can do yoga, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, and you want to try it out. This is an opportunity to come out and do a free class. I think Sam's going to actually look up the actual class.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're not? Oh.
I was just
okay.
adding a banner.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm doing all of the technical things as well. Well, I can look it up.
Okay. And you can feel free to register for that.
Yeah, it's the 21st.
And what time is that?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. So it's a free 1 hour gentle style, hatha style yoga class specifically for seniors. What's a senior? 55 plus is considered a senior. So feel free to reach out about that as well. And I think that's all of our housekeeping for now. Oh, sorry, one more thing, store hours. We are moving, we originally were through the week, we were open till 6, and on the weekend open till 5. So we're moving just across the board 11 till 5 each day. Super easy to remember. So new store hours are 11 to 5. We are still closed on Mondays at this point as well. So I think
Good
that's
job,
it.
Kim.
Woo, that's a lot to get.
Her.
That's a lot to get through. Do you have anything that you feel like I missed or you want to add?
No.
No. Okay. Well, then let's launch into today's topic, which is manifestation, also known as law of attraction. And why don't you tell me what that means to you? What do you consider manifest? How do you say anything about manifestation or law of attraction? Anything?
Well, I'd say, like, to put it simply.
Please do.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to put it simply.
Yeah.
Well, manifestation is almost like something that you want to come true, almost like a wish.
Mm-hmm.
But
wish.
yeah, I'd say more to a wish seems almost like juvenile, like, oh, I wish for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, simply put, it is wishing for something different in your future at some point. But I think there's many layers to it and many ways to go about it. And I think everybody's doing it all the time without knowing.
That is so true. Yeah, and some people are really skilled at it, and they don't even know.
They have no idea.
Right, they have no idea.
They're just watch them do it, and it's like, wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in making it not happen is people as well. People being their own worst enemy to manifesting things, and I guess not coming into the right energy to be able to do it.
Yeah, they're standing in their own way.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, manifestation is well, for the purposes of today's discussion, will be the deliberate, intentional uh, construction of our desires, right?
Yes.
Like, I have this thing I want to manifest, and I am with deliberate intent using a process, and people refer to it as law of attraction as well. And when we talk about law of attraction, we can talk about that in both the positive and the negative sense, right? People are attracting to themselves things all the time. Those things aren't necessarily positive, right? So law of attraction is the concept of what we focus on, or like attracts like. Manifestation, we're kind of more specifically talking about the deliberate, intentional construction of desire.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I also think when people like leap into it, it's there's this big goal that they have immediately. I want this specific kind of relationship. I want this specific job. I want this type of house. I want these big things to happen right away. And it's like, well, I can't manifest that. Like, I have all these problems. Or you need to start manifesting little things, like taking the little steps, little manifestations to the big manifestation.
Yeah, it's like it's a big bridge, right? Like you have to go
as well as still seeing that end goal.
And the people who, like we talked about, that are just really good at this process and do it by default, like they're already there. There's no steps for them to take along the way, because they're already just magically manifesting.
Yeah, like when you see that person, it's like, how do they have all these things? Why does everything always work out for them? Why do they always seem to be like in a good mood?
Luck or
yeah, they're lucky. It's like, no, they figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. So the concept, I think that, yeah, you'll hear people say things like, oh, I've tried that manifestation. That stuff's all crap, right? Like, no one can just, write an affirmation and that'll show up in your life, or say, I want this 3 times, or focus on it, and those things will show up. And to some degree, that's true, because really what the process of deliberate manifestation relies on a number of things. And it relies on both belief, thought, emotion/feeling, and action. And that's from the bottom up. Most people, when they approach this, come at the top, right? They go, okay, I'll take this action, and I'll focus on this feeling. But if you are not coming at it from the bottom up, you are possibly having blocks with the other stuff. And one of the main things is core beliefs that are your biggest obstacle. So someone will say, I want to manifest the perfect partner, right? But all I ever attract are liars, cheaters, and what have you. And they focus like, okay, I'm going to focus on, who this perfect partner would be. I'm going to write a list. I'm going to say they would look like
Which
this.
are all great things to do, actually.
They're all great things to do. But if you haven't addressed the core belief, then your ability to attach the emotion feeling is going to be diminished.
Yeah, and going into emotion feeling, that can tie into what I believe for myself in doing any type of manifestation and law of attraction. I think the key is to live as if you already have it.
Exactly. Right.
And that sends you into the energetic space.
Yeah.
Where live as already you have money. And that doesn't mean spend all your money, but live as if you are abundant.
Right.
Live as if you are in that loving energy with that partner. They don't need to be there, but you already feel that love. You already live that life. And without a doubt, it will attract to you.
Because you're offering that frequency, right? You're in that space. And the more power that you can put behind that, the faster the manifestation. And I think when people, so yes, if you're new to this and you're like, I don't know if I buy any of this, yes, it's good to start out small. And I think I want to talk a little bit about kind of some of the obstacles that people face. And one of those things is about the concept and the belief in the concept that, I don't really believe that this is even possible, and therefore is not going to work. That is a core limiting belief that you probably need to address. Some of the mistakes that people make, lack of clarity, right? What do I really want? People say things like, and I forget who I saw do this process, so whoever it was, credit to you, but I can't remember who you are. But I want a partner, right? I want a partner that is loyal, true, good, all that stuff. But it's like, what do you really want, right? So what is it that that partner is going to bring to you, right? Or I want abundance. I want money. What do you really want? Well, I want to be able to take care of my family. Well, why do you want to be able to take care of your family? So if you actually look at your goal, what you think is your goal, and then start to move beyond it and ask yourself the question, why do you want those things? That's really important. And the likelihood is when you do that, you're going to circle right back around to a potential block, which is a belief system block. You see what I mean by that? Like you kind of go past it and then back around.
Well, you're saying the person doesn't actually know what they want.
Right.
So they're coming back around because they need to reanalyze and be like, oh, that's not what I want.
The clarity needs to be there. Yeah, what are you really hoping to get by manifesting this thing, whether it's a relationship or a material item or so forth.
And you have to actually want it.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we see things that other people have, we're tricked into believing we want that too. So you say, oh, I want lots of money. But do you want everything that comes with lots of money? Which is no time to yourself, no time for your family, no time for your hobbies, no time for your pets, no time for yourself, essentially. And I guess there are ways to make lots of money. But in the beginning, I'd say if you're starting from $0, you're giving other things up to get this money. So you're not going to get the money if you don't want to give all those other things up.
Yeah. And so analyzing all of those things it's true because, some
so you circle back. It's like, oh, well, I don't like this. Yeah. So yeah, you're going to inevitably stop.
I guess everybody wants peace, right? Does everybody want peace?
I do not think so.
You don't think so? You think some people don't want peace?
Do you think that some people, let's think about all the people in the world.
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right, not everybody wants peace. Okay, that's true.
Well, I don't want to be political here, but you think Donald Trump wants peace?
Oh, right. Okay, you're right.
You
right.
think he's looking for peace?
Yeah. No, I guess not. You're right. Okay, that was silly. That's true. I guess I was thinking
you want it.
Right. It's like the most wonderful experience would be the experience of peace.
Yes.
Right? For me, you're right.
And have you achieved that? Or
sometimes, not always.
Or do you have a lot of blocks?
I have a lot of blocks to peace. Yeah, because I'm a human being. So, but the times
comments.
Comments is somebody, oh, hi, Patricia. How are you? Do you really? Yeah.
What do you
really want?
Do you really, really want?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got you.
What you really, really want. Yeah, exactly.
I want a piece.
A piece? You want peace? Yeah.
Okay. So being clear.
But it's interesting that you say that. So let's
let's
use Kim as an example. So she often says that I want peace.
Yeah.
And I'd say,
oh God, here we go.
Sets up huge obstacles from achieving that.
Oh, I do sometimes.
Every single day, every single second, every single moment.
Yeah.
Which is like interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because when you do find peace and you're in it, you're like, wow, this is good. And
oh yeah, I do love it when I have.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start a new business. I'm like, well, that doesn't make
I do enjoy creativity as well. So creativity,
I guess, for you,
yeah, creativity energizes me. It kind of bubbles up and invigorates me, but that energy is hard to sustain, right? So when if you are that type of person that puts yourself in creative flow processes, and you do need to slip back into peace, right? And the peace is the calm, and I guess it's not creative peace. It's being in the now, right? As opposed to the project or the thing. Yeah. So that is an obstacle. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay.
What are other obstacles?
Lack of persistence. So people are like, I'm gonna write these affirmations 3 times. I'm gonna do it for 4 days, and it didn't work, so that's it. I'm done. Right? As opposed to really looking, like this process has the ability to be transformative on so many levels, right? So I'll just talk a little bit about the science of it. And do not get me wrong, I am not a scientist in any way at all. But if we look at quantum physics, quantum mechanics, the whole concept of subatomic particles exist in a state that is not predictable and not fixed until they're observed. So what that implies is that reality is 100% created by the observer. We are the observers. Everything exists all at once. It's like watching a movie, and when you look away, the movie stops playing, right? The observer is the most important part of this. So you are constantly constructing your reality, and there's plenty of science to back that up. So if you realize that, then you can be more critical of your process. You can be like, well, wait a minute, why isn't this working? Why do I keep getting this block? And it can be transformative because it can help you erase all kinds of belief systems that you might be holding that hold you back in all kinds of different ways, and prevent you from achieving what you think are your goals. The concept of the word want comes into this conversation a lot. And most of the people you hear talk about manifestation and who really kind of work the process say you need to stay away from the word. Like you should need to stay away from I want, the concept of want, because all you do is stay in a state of want, right? Like I'm in the state of wanting. I want this. And that's where you shall stay.
As opposed to, well, where we can see that is when, like, to use the word desperate, when someone is desperate, when they're trying to do something, when they're moving too fast, when they're anxious and they're trying to get something done, like the person who's speeding on the road,
right? And
you arrive at the same time as them. It's like, well, that
every red light they're waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
and you're right back beside them. Yeah. So yeah, frantic energy. And even to back it up even further, before you set out on this journey to manifest anything, I think an important thing to do, and it's probably a whole another topic, is to take radical responsibility for your life and your decisions and the things that happen to you and how things come about. Because if you're expecting external people and things to just happen for you without taking any responsibility for anything that happens to you on a daily, you'll never manifest anything ever.
No.
Not one thing.
No. Except more of that. The belief that the world is out to get you and is doing things to you. Yeah, the concept of radical responsibility really does go hand. I think there's a lot of really good things that go hand in hand with manifestation, right? Because it gets to the whole construction of how we accept responsibility for our lives and how we run our lives. And
it's the good and bad. Some people aren't even willing to take responsibility for the good.
No.
Like they're really good at something and they worked hard to achieve it and they're like, well, I'm just lucky, or I was born with that skill, or it's like, no, take responsibility for it. It's yours. And the bad things too, of course. Those are the harder things. But it's everything that happens to you, good or bad, is because of you. It's
because of something you said yes to or something you invited into your life in some way. And whether you're doing it by default, and that's what manifestation is, right? Like really taking the intention around it. So yes, we all just live our lives and create them by default all the time, but this is a way to actually work the process
and take control.
Right. So, well, how do you manifest?
I
don't know. Like, okay, let's an example. Let's say someone is wanting to change jobs. Let's say someone feels unfulfilled in their current job. It causes them stress. They are unappreciated. There's just a lot of negative things, right? But they feel it's like what we call prison jobs, right? I don't want to name them because I might.
A job you feel like you can't leave because of the benefits at the end, and you just stay 10 more years, 5 more years.
If you just make it to the end, you'll get to retire. Yeah. I can't imagine being in a job where the mindset would be, if I can just make it 5 more years.
Well, you can imagine. I can't imagine someone could easily be in that situation in our everyday.
Yeah, they are.
That's true. Totally have understanding.
I do. Yeah.
You just wouldn't do it.
Well, if I could help it, but I understand.
Yeah, you can't always help it.
You can't always help it.
Trying to be sensitive here. You can leave if you want.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you tune out now. So, what someone might think that manifestation means in that case, well, I'll just quit my job then, right? And I'll just dive deep into whatever it is.
Whatever my dream is.
And that's not necessarily the right approach. Like, again, when you were talking about steps, right? So the first thing is to establish, well, what is it that you want? Like, you've established what you don't want, and you can focus on that all day, and guess what will happen? You'll get all of that all day long. Or you can really start to look at, well, what do I really want? What makes my heart sing? What makes me feel purposeful? What do I feel good about, right? What do I want to do? So you establish that first. And then you start to engage in the world in ways are there any core beliefs that would be limiting to that? Well, I want to be a yoga teacher, right? But I don't believe that I'm physically capable. I don't believe that I could make enough money to support myself as a yoga teacher. I don't believe that people will take me seriously. I don't believe that my family would support that. They'll think I'm a lunatic, right? All of these core beliefs need to be addressed, right? You need to say, how can I go around those, right? Okay, so let's say I don't believe I can make enough money at being a yoga teacher to leave this cushion job that gives me well enough money, and I could.
Who's she talking about?
I'm not talking about you because you are a yoga teacher, but I just used it because I was looking at you. But I think it's a really good example because it's the kind of thing that people are called to, right? Like,
like calling jobs, yeah.
Yeah, you feel this calling. We could use a birth attendant, right? We could use any of these jobs where people think, oh gosh, if I could do this, it would make my heart sing, or because and I guess we're kind of relating to service type jobs, but it could be anything. It does a chef, right? Someone could be like art, yeah. Exactly. You got it. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to establish, what are the belief systems you have in place that prevents you from believing this is a reasonable thing to do. And then start dismantling those. So let's take yoga teacher. Certainly there are yoga teachers that make a lot of money teaching yoga, right? And there's probably lots of ways they've done that. So you can be open to the idea that that is possible. You don't have to accept that there is no way for someone as a yoga teacher to make enough money to support themselves. That's just not true. You can look at all kinds of evidence of that. The thing about, well, my family won't be supportive of it. Okay, so now you have some work to do with your therapist on how you can disengage yourself from your family's judgment of you and believe in your own abilities. So, and we can go through a whole list of limiting beliefs and how you would work for them. But then you get through those, and then you've done your work and you've released those. And now you start to engage in the manifestation process. And this is where meditation comes in. For the most part, I find to be the most profound place to have an experience of something that you aren't actually experiencing, correct?
Well, meditation helps you get into a state, I'd say, to living like you already have it.
Right. So give me an example. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that can just change your energy from going from, oh, that's impossible to, okay, maybe this is possible and maybe I'll live like it's happening now.
Mm-hmm. And when people go into meditative states, and the thing is, when you're in that kind of theta state where your brain waves are organized in a certain way, anything that you're imagining is perceived as true in your consciousness. And if we say that your consciousness is what is giving out that vibration, that frequency that you're using for manifestation, it is perceived as true. Interestingly enough, children, I think before the age of 7, spend most of the time in theta state. So most of the things they experience are perceived as absolute truths, whether they don't make sense or not. So this is why we have to be so careful.
Even kids today, I feel like they're so smart. You try and trick them and they're like,
Well, that might be after 7. You think even before 7?
I don't know, maybe not.
Well, I don't know. Maybe kids today are different. This is true. So
they should be in theta until 7.
They should be.
But the world ruins them.
Well, that's pretty much it. It's Miss Rachel's fault, really. So meditation is the way that you can actually get into a space, deliberately create a reality that you're not currently experiencing in this physical plane, but exists somewhere because everything's happening all at once, and connect to that vibration. So what would that look like if you were if you wanted to be a yoga teacher and supporting yourself as a yoga teacher, what would that meditation look like?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Oh, you're not going to answer?
I have no idea. This is not how I manifest. Fantastic.
Well, right. Okay. So
for you.
Okay.
You go ahead.
So, all right, I'm going to do my first. So getting into a meditative state means relaxing your body, relaxing your mind, and creating a set of imagery that helps you connect to that. So you might imagine yourself teaching a yoga class. You might even create a whole sequence that you're going through in your mind, like creating all the poses. You're imagining the people. You're imagining the full class. You're imagining 40 students who came to see you and to experience yoga with you. So that is and then that vibration is what you're offering. So that's what I find.
And how should you see yourself? I remember
that's gonna be
reading or hearing about this. The way you're supposed to see yourself in this image of whether you're imagining or you're doing meditation or
Yeah.
you're just like having a thought process
Uh-huh.
of visualization.
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to not be looking at yourself.
No,
you're
you're supposed
supposed
to
to be yourself.
In yourself.
Yeah, you're in your body and
Yeah.
you're seeing
Yeah.
how it's happening. You're seeing the people, you're seeing the things
Yeah.
that you want. You're holding them.
Yeah.
You're seeing them in your hand. You're feeling them.
Yeah. You're embodying the experience as opposed to watching a movie.
Mhm.
Now, I have seen some teachers teach a process about watching a movie too, but I think what you're saying is a much more powerful method.
Yeah, I think I read it in a book or like saw it on a TikTok. Or...
Oh, well, if it was on TikTok, then let's face it.
Yeah.
That is the way to go. Yeah. So imagining yourself in the scene as part of the scene as opposed to watching it in that type of meditation. Oh, do we have a question or?
Patricia said because of capitalism, but I don't know when she said that.
Oh, because of capitalism.
We're also at time.
Oh, we're at 30 minutes already?
Yeah, we're at 31 minutes.
Oh my
but you want
gosh.
to keep talking or?
Well, I didn't realize. Okay, so limiting beliefs, making sure that you create a process, meditation is good. Now you said, okay, that's how you do it, Kim, but that's not how I do it. So how do you
Well,
do
like
it?
specifically to, well, like I've said before, I live in a feeling that I already have it.
How do you generate the feel? Okay, so how do you get to the feeling? What do you do?
That's a good question.
Well, yeah, because that's the point. You got to get to the feeling.
Well, yeah, I guess it is through a lot of visualization.
Okay, but you don't necessarily do it through meditation.
Yeah, like I just do it like in my day to day, like when I'm driving or
Oh,
when like I'm cooking dinner or I'm just doing these activities. I try and create an energy of that's something I already have.
Okay.
An energy. Like if you want money, don't go spend all your money. Like, oh, there's more of that coming.
Right.
I don't think that's the right thing to do.
No,
And I don't think you should quit your job, and I don't think you should
Yeah.
do anything crazy. But yeah, it's as if it's already happening in
Right.
a feeling way.
In a feeling. So whereas I guess the
So
process
you have
I'm
to create
talking
a feeling, which I
Yeah.
guess, yeah,
is how do you get to that
yeah.
feeling? And anybody could have a path. So I guess the important thing is whatever path gets you to the feeling, because it really is the feeling that matters.
Yeah.
It's the imagery is one thing, the belief system is another. Thought, that's the one that people stop at. I'm gonna just have this thought over and over. I'm gonna say this affirmation. I'm gonna have the thought. That is hollow. It's not gonna go anywhere. You must have the feeling. So however you get there, you have it through cooking.
Feeling is believing.
Feeling is believing. This is true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So go on out there and research some manifestation. Find what works for you, and start creating the life you want, or that you say you want. And remember, don't say the word want. Then you'll just be
Don't want things.
Don't want.
Already have
things.
them.
Establish what your desires are, and then experience them as if they are here and now.
Because they actually are
They are
already here.
Yeah, they're just like in another kind
Yeah, they're
of
like
dimension.
right here.
They're right
You just
here.
gotta go like this.
You can just grab a hold of them and pull them on in, and that'll be part of your manifestation journey.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
easy.
So easy. So easy. Well, thanks for stopping by today. So, thanks for watching, and
Thanks for having me, Kim.
well,
Thanks for letting me speak today. This is a day I am allowed to speak.
Yeah, this is true. And do we have a topic for next week?
No.
I don't think we have a topic for next week. Hey, if you have a topic you want us to discuss,
Yeah, what do you want us to talk about?
I mean, we'll talk about, might talk about your topic. It depends on what it is, but I mean, we're pretty flexible that way. So we don't necessarily know anything about the topic, but we're happy to talk about it. That's for sure.
I will research it
Yeah, we will research it
in
for sure.
books.
Yeah. So have yourself a wonderful day, and the universe is always speaking to you. Don't forget to listen.
Yes.
Yes. And Sam is
What
our
you said.
yeah. Sam is our technical person. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.